Hi, my name is Galen McCown of Galen's Games, and I'm here to show you Dice Dogs. Dice Dogs is a 2 to 3 player worker placement game that has you versus your opponents. You're all competitive dog walkers trying to return all your dogs in the happiest possible state, happier than your opponents. The primary mechanism in this game is, of course, worker placement, and there are 3 different things you can do on your turn. You take one of your workers and you can place them in any one of the worker spots. So I could bring a dog to the park and start their ability to score, which we'll talk more about later. You could take one, place it in a space, and as long as it's in a connected path where one of your dogs is, you can call them over to an empty dog space on this place. And that will also interact with the way the dog powers work. Lastly, you can place somebody here to bring one of your dogs off the board and take their dice and unlock one of the bonuses, which we'll talk more about in a bit. Last thing to mention in terms of the worker placement is there is bumping in the game. So if I wanted that space up there where an opponent already was, I could bump them, but they would go to Bon Appetit, and that would basically allow them to grab a dog treat, which allows them to increase any one of their dog dice by 1. So what makes Dice Dogs unique is the actual dogs themselves. So in each game there are types of dogs, and they all have associated colored dice. So this is an example of one of our aggressive dogs. This is Gemma. And so Gemma, you can see, really likes to be alone. So if you can move her to a space with no other dog, she's going to get +2. So in this example, if I were to place worker here, and call over Gemma, there are no other dogs here, so I would take her die and I'd increase it from 1 to 3 because she earned 2 points, right? So that's the aggressive dogs there. Next up we have our playful dogs, and so playful dogs are happiest when they're with other dogs. So if you move them into a space with another playful dog, your opponent's dog with a blue dice, you'll get +2 to their die, or +1 if they just move into a space with another dog. Wizzy over here is our dachshund, and they are very territorial. They really like to mark things. So when they mark a space, they're going to get +1 to their die value. They're going to get +2 if their opponent's marked a space. So in this example here is our dog Wizzy. Let's say that they're here, and let's say our opponent has already brought their dog to the park and has already marked their space. If I, on my turn, bring Wizzy to the park, and I place one of my marker cubes up here, since it's already marked, I'm going to get +2 instead of +1 there. So that's the way they work. And then the last type of dog are the active dogs, and so this is Petunia here. Petunia really likes to sniff things, right? She likes to move to spaces she hasn't been to yet, but if she ends her turn in a space that she's already visited, she's going to lose a point. And so, again, this is, if I call her over here, I'm going to bring her over, and she is going to place a sniff cube, and that is going to increase her die by 1. Let's talk about bonuses. So as you unlock dogs, you are going to be able to, like I said, pull them off and place them on these bonus unlock spots up here, whatever value you bring your dog off. So let's say I brought them off, Gemma comes off, her dice comes here. I can unlock one of these 4 powers. The first one allows you to take any one of your workers that are out there, pick them up, and then basically take another turn. Okay. This next one is the dog bag, poop bag. You can use this to pull all of your markers off of a single location, allowing you to mark or sniff them again. The next one is the dog whistle. With this one, you're able to, as I place a character, I am actually able to move my dog 2 spaces instead of just from an adjacent space. So I could call, and she would be able to mark or sniff and sniff. Okay. And then the last one's the tennis ball, which allows you to simply move a dog to an adjacent space without needing a worker there. So I could just, move them to that space, even though it's already taken, by using the move. And that's it. The game goes for either 6 rounds or ends immediately when one person gets all dog dice to 6 and they win automatically, or when one person has brought all 4 dogs home, the game ends at the end of that round. Thank you so much for watching.